Hello, Child Wildcats. Miss Miller here once again to teach math lesson 14-5 on describing and comparing objects by measurable attributes. Let's find out what all that means. Let's see, you should be on this page, and we will go ahead and get started. All right. So listen up.
Find two objects in the classroom. Draw them. Describe all the ways you can measure the objects. Then, mark with an X the object that is shorter. Circle the tool that you can use to tell about the lengths of the objects.
All right, so this one wants us to find two objects in our classroom, but we are not in our classroom. So you have two choices. You can either think about what you would find in a classroom and draw two objects, or you can find two things in your home and draw those two objects. I am going to go ahead and pretend that I am in our classroom, and I am going to draw my first object that I am finding is a can of Play-Doh, or a jar of Play-Doh. So here's my Play-Doh. Play-Doh. Okay. Remember, this is hard for me to write. That's what I'm drawing. I have Play-Doh. And then I also am going to find, a dry erase board, which kind of looks like a piece of paper, but one of those small dry erase boards that we have in our classroom. There has a little black outer edge. All right, so I have a Play-Doh and a small dry erase board. Now they want us to mark an X on the object that is shorter. Think about our little cans of Play-Doh and our dry erase boards that you can hold. Which one is shorter? Think about that for a second. If you said Play-Doh, you are right. Now, whatever objects you draw, mark an X on the object that is shorter than the other one. And now we are going to look over here, or on your paper, it's going to be up here at the top, and you will circle which tools we could use to measure the length of an object. Can we use a measuring cup to tell about the length of an object? Nope, a measuring cup tells us how much something holds. What about a balance scale? Does a balance scale tell us about the length of objects? Nope, it tells us how much they weigh or which one is heavier and lighter. Can a cube train tell us about the length of an object? Yes, it can. So go ahead and circle the cube train. Good job, friends. Go ahead and flip your paper, do the hard flip, and get ready for our video.
Marta is looking at this vase. What attributes of the vase could Marta measure? She could measure the height, weight, or capacity of the vase. What does it mean to measure the height of the vase?
What does it mean to measure the height? Think about that. What tool would you use to measure the height? And what does it mean to measure the height? Let's see if you're right.
It means to find how tall the vase is. What does it mean to measure the weight of the vase? It means to find how heavy the vase is. What does it mean to measure the capacity of the vase?
Capacity. What does it mean to measure capacity of the vase? That's a tricky word. Let's see if you know.
It means to find how much the vase holds. Marta is thinking about three tools she can use to measure the vase. Which tool would Marta use to tell about the height of the vase? She would use cubes. Which tool would she use to tell about the weight of the vase?
Think about that. She would use the cube train to tell about the height. Which of these other tools would she use to tell about the weight? A balance scale or a measuring cup? Let's see if you're right.
She would use the balance scale. Which tool would she use to tell about the capacity of the vase? She would use the measuring cup. Which attributes of the vase is Marta thinking about now? She is thinking about the color of the vase and what the vase could be used for. Can Marta use any of the tools to tell about these attributes?
Oh, let's find out.
Select an attribute to see whether it can be measured with one of the tools shown.
All right, first is height.
Height.
So to measure the height of something, we could only use cube trains.
Taste.
Oh, can we use any of these tools to measure how something tastes? No, that's only in your mouth. Your tongue can do that for you. That's your tool for taste.
Length.
Length. You could use a cube train to measure the length of an object.
Sound.
Ooh, sound. Can you use an object to measure sound? Nope, that's what your ears are for.
Capacity.
Capacity is how much something holds. You would use a measuring cup to figure out the capacity of something.
Color.
Color. You can't use any of these tools to figure out the color. You can only use your eyes.
Smell.
Smell. Can you use any of these tools to measure smell? Nope, that's what your nose is for.
Weight.
Weight. You would use a balance scale to determine the weight of an object. Good job, friends.
No. Some attributes are not measurable. Look at the flowers. The height and weight of the flowers tell about the flowers and can be described with tools. The color and smell of the flowers are attributes that tell about the flowers but cannot be described using the tools.
Tools can help us find out some things about an object, but not everything.
All right, good job, friends. Let's get started with number 1. Number 1 says, look at the objects on the left and identify the attributes that can be measured. So if we look at buttons, could we measure the length or height? Sure. Could we measure how much they weigh? Yes. Could we measure how much they hold? They don't have a capacity, so I don't think so on that one. But it says, mark an X on the object that is lighter or underline both objects if they weigh the same. Once again, we don't have a scale, but we can look at the size to decide. If this button is smaller than this button, it probably weighs less. So they marked an X on the smaller button, showing that the smaller button weighs or is lighter, weighs less or is lighter than the bigger button. Now they want you to look at these tools here. Which tool could you use to tell about the weight of these objects? A cube train or a balance scale? Balance scale. Good job. All right, flip it like a pancake. And we are going to do some on our own together. All right. Number 2. Number 2 and 3. First, we're going to look at the objects on the left and talk about what could be measured, what attributes could be measured. Then mark an X on the object that holds less or underline them if they hold the same amount. So first, let's talk about number 2. We have a flower pot and we have a wagon. What attributes can be measured? Could we measure the length and the height of both of these with cube trains? Sure. Can we measure how much they weigh with a balance scale? Sure. Could we measure how much they hold or their capacity? Yes, because something can go inside this flower pot and something could go inside this wagon. So we talked about the attributes that can be measured. Now they want us to mark an X on the object that holds less or underline them if they hold the same. Which object up here would hold less? A small flower pot or a larger wagon? If you said flower pot, you got it. So mark an X on the flower pot because that would hold less. Now, over here, which tool will tell you how much the objects can hold? A balance scale or a measuring cup? If you said measuring cup, you are right. Good job. All right, number 3, 2 gallons of paint. What attributes can be measured? Could we measure the height or length of each jar of paint? Yes. Could we use a balance scale to measure how much they weigh? Yes. Could we use a measuring cup to figure out their capacity or how much they hold? Yes, we could. All right, so we talked about that. Now they want us to mark an X on the object that holds less or underline them if they hold the same amount. Think about that for a second. These are the same size. Oh, no. My cat's trying to teach a lesson with me. Sorry about that. All right, they look the same to me. So we are going to underline them because they are the same. They hold the same amount. Now, oh, yep, there's my cat. Sorry. No. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Now we're going to look over here. Which tool can we use to tell about how much the paint jars can hold? Would we use a measuring cup to determine how much they hold or a cube train? If you said measuring cup, you are correct. Circle that measuring cup. All right, number 4. Circle the object that holds more or underline both objects if they hold the same amount. So this one, they want us to circle the object that holds more. Which one do you think would hold more? A small pail or a large trash can? If you said large trash can, you are right. Go ahead and circle that large trash can. And now over here, you need to circle the tool that can be used to tell about how much an object holds. Which tool tells about how much an object holds? A cube train or a measuring cup? If you said measuring cup, good job. Go ahead and circle that. All right, and now go ahead and do your hard flip, and we are on the last page. This page you will do all by yourself. I will go over the directions. Number 5 and 6. Here's what you need to do. Look at the objects on the left and talk about the attributes that can be measured. Can you measure their length and height? Can you measure how much they weigh? And can you measure their capacity or how much they hold? After you talk about those things, draw a circle around the object that is heavier or underline them if they weigh the same weight. So circle the object that is heavier or underline them if they weigh the same. And then after you do that, come over here and circle the tool that you could use to tell about the weights of the objects. So if we look up here at the fire truck and the car, would you use a cube train or a balance scale to figure out the weight? And down here, I see 2 staplers. Would you use a balance scale or a wagon to figure out the weight of the objects? And number 7. Let's see. You need to look at this tool. What can this tool measure? And right here, you're going to draw an object that can be measured using this tool. And in this right square, you're going to draw an object that cannot be measured using this tool. So you have your tool right here. Draw an object that can be measured using this tool. And in this blank spot over here on the right, Draw an object that cannot be measured using this tool. All right, and that is it for today's math lesson. So as always, good luck, work hard, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye-bye.